U.S. B-1 bombers deployed to South China Sea as Navy carriers continue readiness fighting China. The United States Air Force deployed two B-1B bombers to Guam, as the Navy continued its dual aircraft carrier operations in the contested South China Sea areas, on Friday. Both services described the operations as routine, however they followed the United States State Department announcement, on Monday. And explicitly embracing a 2016 decision by an international tribunal that rejected China's claim of sovereignty in isles in the South China Sea territory. The Air Force said in a statement, "The pair of Lancer bombers, from the 37th Expeditionary Bomb Squadron, and 28th Wing at Ellsworth Air Force Base, and the United States B-1 will conduct bilateral bomber task force operations out of Andersen Air Force Base." The Air Force said, the deployment also supports strategic deterrence missions to reinforce the rules international order in the region. And they will train with allies, partner nations, and other United States services. According to the statement, about 170 airmen also deployed from Ellsworth to Guam territory, in support of the bomber mission. And the Air Force did not disclose the intended length of the deployment. The Air Force said, before arriving on Guam areas, the bombers conducted intercept training over the Sea of Japan, with F-15J fighter jets belonging to the Japanese Air Force. The United States B-1s were last deployed to Guam, in May ago, as they flew in from Guyas Air Force Base. Meanwhile, the more than 12,000 sailors and Marines aboard the vessels of the USS Nimitz in Ronald Reagan to continue training on Friday in the South China Sea territory, and where they have been operating since early July. On July 1st to 5th, China has conducted drills near the Sea's Paracel Islands, which both China and Vietnam country claim as their own at the time. And the Pentagon has issued a statement at the time calling China's actions that counterproductive to efforts at easing tensions, and also maintaining stability in the sea territory. The current operations by the Nimitz and Reagan continue to demonstrate operational commitment to allies, and also partners in the region. The Navy said in a statement, this matter also providing combatant commanders with significant operational flexibility if needed, in response to regional situations. A commander of Nimitz Carrier Strike Group Rear ADM, Jim Kirk, said in the statement, the USS Nimitz and Reagan are operating in the South China Sea areas, wherever international law allows. This matter also to reinforce our commitment to a free and open Indo-Pacific territory, and a rules-based international order to our allies and partners in the areas or in South China Sea. The statement said, the tactical drills focus on the group's offensive and defensive capabilities. The statement said, these carrier strike groups incorporate the capabilities of embarked fixed and also rotary wing aircraft. And the ship's Aegis-guided missile cruisers and destroyers, and also attack submarines in territory. This opportunity for two carrier strike groups to train and operate together in the territory, and capabilities that only the United States Navy can bring. The United States B-1 bombers aircraft launched in sequence from Andersen Air Force Base, Guam. B-1 bombers also performed a flyover and then dispersed to conduct simultaneous operations in the South China Sea territory. The United States B-1 is one of the 3 stealth bombers with a bomb wing that have arrived in Guam a few days ago to conduct extended deterrence operations in the South China Sea theater. And the United States B-1 deployed where China is continuing its colonization of the disputed islands territory in the East and South China Seas. This matter strengthened regional alliances, and the truth is that the United States Air Force exploited the presence of the B-1 bombers force in Guam to get some cool shots, like those in this post, and flex the muscles in South China Sea territory.